Hello and welcome to this deep dive session that's focused on asking the right questions. My name is Alex and I am the Learning and Development Manager on this program. In this session, we'll be uncovering the different types of questions that we can leverage in our mentoring sessions and beyond. And I'll start off by asking a question, and yes, this is a question about a question. What type of questions are there? Well, most people know about two types. There's the main two that people tend to reach for. However, technically, there are many more main subcategories beneath those two types. Firstly, we have this type, probably better symbolized by this, closed questions. Closed questions are typically a type of question that leads towards one of two answers. Typically, it's a yes or no. However, closed questions can lead to multiple other types of answers too. It doesn't necessarily have to be yes or no. In some cases, it could be this or that, just for an example. But typically, they're simple dead-end answers that you'll get. Contrary to popular belief, closed questions can be useful. Closed questions are, if anything, better for verification of questions, and also they help you to confirm that you've understood something, or even the person that you're asking the question has understood something, which could lead to further and other conversation points. An example of this could be, to confirm that I fully understand, did all of this take place yesterday? And in that case, you can hear that the answer is yes or no, but it gives you a lot of information to confirm and to verify various things. The second main category is open questions. Open questions allow us to get a much longer response, and they're gearing towards more creativity and information. However, this can be broken down into a number of different subtypes of question. But before we go into those, let's look at some examples. We have simply, tell me about blah blah blah. How do you see your future? A really hard question to answer sometimes. What is the purpose of? And also, why did you choose that answer? You can compile a closed question with an open question to expand upon a couple of different ideas and theories. So be creative when you're asking questions. Now to a couple of those open style questions that you can use, such as leading questions. Leading questions usually subtly point the respondent towards a specific direction when they're answering. This gentle nudge frames the respondent's mind towards answering the question in a very specific way. They generally don't require judgment to be made. They're usually quite quick off the mark when it comes straight off the tongue. And this can be good to help someone both notice or discover something that they may have had some awareness of, but wasn't necessarily clear about everything. Some leading questions could simply be, how does this look? Another could be, do you have problems with a member of your team? Also, on the 14th of July, is it true that... and then you can fill in the blanks. The first question that's on screen implies something good, so it leads them down to a positive answer. You'll notice that the second question subtly raises the idea that there might be a problem, making the respondent question their employment relationships. And in this case, you're leading them towards expanding on something that you want to learn more about. We have recalling questions, and these questions require someone to simply remember something. The respondent needs to recall some information from memory, and it's often a fact. Recall questions could be as simple as, what's your mother's maiden name? When did you do a thing? And do you remember a time where something happened? Clarifying questions. Clarifying questions are quite simply questions of fact that can be used to confirm or even deconstruct very complex concepts. Often, these are used in conversation to summarize what a speaker has said. So, a clarifying question could very simply be, when you said something, what did you mean? Why do you feel this way? When would it be appropriate to... And the last one is actually a closed clarifying question. Did you always feel this way? Is charged towards getting people to really confirm yes or no, and then hopefully expand further if they feel comfortable to. This is where your relationship really comes into play, and you must be able to have the freedom to ask such a question. We also have funneling questions. These are a series of questions that become more or less restrictive at each step. You usually start with a very open-ended question, and you get closer and closer and closer towards getting a closed question, or vice versa. In some cases, you may start with a closed question and then get broader in how open the questions end up becoming. So an example could be like this. Tell me about your most recent holiday. Very open. What did you see whilst you were there? Getting a bit more narrow. Were there any good restaurants? Did you try some local dishes? And then the last question, being a close question, did you try the something dish? It could be the national dish, potentially. And that's a very simple yes or no. So you can see that these are narrowing in towards being a funnel. In summary, you want to ask a batch of different types of questions to help move a conversation along so that you can learn more and you can get them as a mentee to expand upon the things that they're talking about. Now, I promise this is the last time I'll say the word questions, but if you do have any questions, please send me an email. And thank you so much for watching this video.